Hey everybody, I'm John.
And I'm Ethan.
This is the Stub Masters Podcast. Back after zero demand ever from anyone.
Actually, it's the demand from us.
You're right, we wanted it.
We wanted it, even though you don't.
Yeah.
We're going to force this upon you. Listen if you'd like. This will be here.
Yeah, we had one podcast that came out a couple years ago. It was pretty good, actually, I think. It was only like 20-something minutes, but I thought it was pretty good.
It had
had its moments.
I think the only thing that was wrong with it was that it wasn't very technically advanced.
Which is fine.
It's fine, but not for my arm, because I had to hold a microphone to everyone's mouth and then move it.
Okay, well, listen. Apple was founded in the garage, okay? Come on, great things come from humble places.
This is different circumstances.
Yeah, now we have...
Regardless, now
like a
it's...
fancy microphone and a better computer. So that means it's going to suck, basically.
Well, no, what it was last time was that we recorded right into... Was it Jonathan's iPhone?
It might have been.
It might have been recording just into Jonathan's iPhone.
Something very ratchet like that, yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, new age of Stub Masters. Jonathan's gone. So we're bringing back the podcast, which you're listening to.
These are the two Stub Masters right now.
John and Ethan, this is all you've got. We're just trying to add some new content to the channel. Just want to... Because I feel like Jonathan, when he left, he took a lot of what people loved about Stub Masters with him.
Pretty much all of it.
a lot of it, I would say.
Man, Jonathan was like the backbone of the operation.
No, he was there from day one.
I mean, it was his idea. He was the first review, just Godzilla.
Ever since I was 6, I loved Godzilla.
I want to get that tattooed on me.
Yeah.
I want to get a Stub Masters tattoo so bad.
No, you've been talking about that for
like,
a while.
That's not a bad idea, is it?
It's not. We'll get to that later. But anyways, Jonathan, he's left us to go to the Navy.
Yeah.
He's in basic training right now.
I don't know. He's off to have his own career now.
Yeah.
So
we'll see him again by Christmas.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get him back for another review then. But anyways, yeah, you're left with John and myself, Ethan.
Forcing this podcast upon you.
Just, again, trying to bring some new content in.
Yeah.
Just trying to reinvent Stub Masters right now.
We should like hijack speakers at places and play this just so we reach ears.
Right.
So
Just so
I don't think
it's
it's going to
free.
happen anywhere else.
No, this is it's free advertisement.
Yeah, we need to like...
I never told you this. I did leave copies of the retrospective at work.
Did you? Oh, you did?
Yes, because I was telling you that...
Ethan works at basically a fast food counter service place.
Sandwich shop,
place.
Yeah.
And where there's like a table you can leave like flyers or whatever.
Yeah. So what inspired me was this. I went into work one day and I found that someone had left their mixtape here. Shout out to Gordy40.
Gordy40.
Who left his mixtape there, or his demo there. And I was like, well, obviously, I guess it's okay to just leave your stuff there. So I went home. I picked up like 5 or 6 copies of the retrospective. And I left them on the table. And I did see my boss pick one up. So I think
he's probably gonna watch it and he'll get fired.
So I'm probably gonna get fired for that.
Yeah, the retrospective, if you don't know, was the video we made recently to commemorate the 3rd year of Stub Masters.
Yeah,
it was full of inside jokes.
No, yeah, I had a lot of fun making that video. We didn't do the 2nd year retrospective because like it said in the epilogue there, or the prologue there, that it just didn't come together for one reason or another.
Yeah,
it's because whatever problems we had. I still remember the script for Stub Masters, for the retrospective number 2. It involved like us being in like a firefight, us like getting shot at.
Yeah, it was ambitious.
It was ambitious, and again, this was too.
But we did it. And I mean, we had to cut a lot of ideas. It wasn't as ambitious as the original script, though.
No.
Like the original script, there was definitely, like you said, a lot of ideas that got cut.
I think we should release or at least, how like sometimes they, in like a deleted scene, they'll like only have the storyboard for a movie, or like they'll barely have the effects done.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just have like a new edition for retrospective 3.
Yeah.
But the scenes that we wanted to include or like storyboarded in.
Okay.
And they're like barely drawn in.
Okay, just so people can get the vision.
Right.
So no one would ever want that.
Right. So I mean, we can like draw the K1 speed.
Oh, that'd be
the
cool.
Racing thing or the basketball scene.
Yeah, there was like a highly choreographed basketball scene.
Right.
the original chase scene was supposed to be done instead of in an empty park in like a busy mall.
Right. No, it was downtown.
It was Bayfront Park.
Bayfront, yeah.
A busy mall.
Yeah, you're right.
Would have never worked. There was like a go-kart. Not even.
No, it was like...
Was it a go-kart? But yeah, like a go-kart scene.
Like a go-kart.
Like on an indoor racing track.
Yeah.
It would have been freaking impossible.
I don't know how we were going to film any of that. So, of course, we had to cut that. But, I mean, do you think it came out well besides those scenes?
I think it came out very well.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I would have changed about the retrospective was the audio quality.
Right.
And there were... I don't think I would have changed the fact that there were so many inside jokes.
No, I don't think so.
Most other people didn't find it funny, but I think it was for us.
Right. I mean, we had a few... You were telling me earlier that we definitely had a few jokes there that 100% landed. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter who we showed it to, there was always one joke at least where I'm talking about the herbs on the phone. Yeah. That always lands. When you were
playing the hillbilly.
Yeah, when I was playing the hillbilly.
There's a few, or like when you're jumping out the window of the car. Like, there's a few.
Oh, is that one?
What?
Is that like one of the jokes that always land?
Yeah, people. I mean, that's just a classically funny image, just like a chubby guy jumping out of a car window.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's
So
that's hilarious.
So there are definitely a few jokes that always hit. But unanimously, when we asked our screening group, when we screened this for a couple of our friends, it was unanimous that Act 2 was the favorite act.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, when we were in Reynolds Park.
I mean, that's just yeah. It's a whole lot of story in the first act.
Yeah, it's a lot of like exposition and build up and story, which I don't think was too interesting.
Yeah,
maybe. But I think it definitely paid off to get to the second act, mostly because of maybe is it the Alex reveal? Spoilers, by the way, everyone.
Spoilers for the red. Yes, Alex is in it.
Yeah,
he's in the trailer though.
He is barely in the trailer for it.
Yeah,
so, which I don't think Jonathan should have done.
Our trailer was like the Spider-Man trailer. It gave too much away.
Yeah. I think Alex brought a lot to that scene. It's actually, I think it's why it's one of the great scenes.
One of the great films of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's one of the great acts of the movie.
Yeah.
And we had a great time shooting that.
I mean, I was on like no sleep that day.
No,
we were all just like...
You weren't.
The really hard part to film was the last act. Because we had a bunch of other people that weren't like
just
randomly, just like friends.
Yeah, they weren't attuned to the way we were filming things.
And it was a big scene, like a big shoot. We had to have a lot of people in their places, in their costume, whatever.
Then again, let's use those phrases lightly. Costumes.
I mean, like...
Was a towel over some of their heads.
Gabe?
Well, Gabe, being the only exception.
Gabe had a huge costume. We had to have... We had to... It was a very, had to be orchestrated thing.
Right. It's not as complex as you're making it.
I'm just saying, and the fact that it rained, and it took a couple hours, and we had to, be actively doing stuff the whole time.
No, yeah, you're right.
People got pretty pissed.
Yeah, I remember just tensions riding high, and people not having as much fun as we would have promised.
Yeah.
But, it came together. Audio was a problem with the rain.
But it worked. We made it happen.
It worked. It came out. It's got, I believe, last time I checked, 70 or so views at least. I'll get the tally on that right now. Man, but it came out. It was fun.
We made 3 years of Stub Masters.
No, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, well, it's at 77 right now.
Woo!
Yeah. Who knows if we've twisted this image of success in our minds to what we've actually accomplished.
What do you mean? Like, if we think we found what we were looking for with 3 years. Crazy times. Who knows if it actually is? But I had... What do you mean? Whatever, man. I don't, I'm just happy we had, we kept with it. No, you're right. What are you talking about? I'm just getting depressed. That's all. What are you? No, you're right. Let's stay happy. Let's stay happy for the Stub Masters podcast. No, we can go dark. I'm fine with going dark. No, it's okay. I want to go dark. I bet you would want to go dark. That's okay, anyway. But yeah, it's not... I feel like doing the YouTuber thing, we came to realize it's not
really as easy to stick with as people think.
No, yeah. Pretty lately, after Jonathan has left, is the most frustration and just the hardest time I've had trying to be a Stub Master.
Because you thought you would always hound Jonathan about like editing stuff.
I would always hound Jonathan to be like, no, use this picture in that thumbnail, or edit this a certain way. And it's obviously so much easier to be a backseat editor than to be doing it yourself. And it's just obviously it's pretty hard when you have the responsibilities shift onto you, and to you as well, John.
Yeah,
you have responsibilities as well.
Well, I don't have Movie Maker on this computer like you got so mad at me about.
I did get really mad at you because your laptop doesn't have Movie Maker, and I was pretty pissed off at that. But that's why I'm offering you Final Cut through a completely legitimate resource.
Good.
Yeah. Just keeping up with these movie news. It's quite a bit actually today. We just had some Black Panther images come out. Those look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Movie news every day. Maybe we'll do a video on what's happening.
Yeah.
Update you guys.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm trying to up our clout knob here.
Clout knob.
I think we have clout now at this point.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
What percentage of the U.S. economy is Let's Plays?
That's a good question. I would like to, actually that's pretty hard to count, I would say, because are you counting like the 15-year-old kid who gets 10 views on a video?
I mean,
and in the title of his video is like Let's Play Battlefield, and it has like 10 views. Granted,
okay, but
that still might get him money. Do you still count that?
I mean, that doesn't get him money.
I mean, yeah, we get views that
can't drop, but that doesn't.
We get money on videos that make like however many views.
Okay, but does he then? But he can't take it out.
He can't, but that's still part of the.
But doesn't it not contribute to the economy then?
I don't know. We're not economists. Don't know.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, fine.
To what extent has Five Nights at Freddy's?
Okay, that's a better question.
Stimulated.
That's a better question.
The U.S. GDP in 2016.
That's a better question because you can look at it from two ways. You can look at it from sales of the actual game, merchandise, the selling of that, the property itself. Like if you've sold the property to someone, how much money has that made? And then we bring into the fact that there's money on YouTube. And let's say that the money that's only being taken out of someone that can on YouTube. So like if you make more than that $100 and you can take it out, if you made that much money on the Five Nights at Freddy video, then it's being used in the economy.
Game sucks, man. The game is trash.
No, I'm not going to diss the game. It's a better game than I could ever make. So I'm not gonna.
I mean, I think you can it's fairly. Wait, you're trying to tell me to sit down.
Whatever.
I'm just stretching.
Okay, that's fine.
Ethan I just stood up to stretch in my chair, and Ethan gave me a look like I was about to fight him.
I just wanted to make sure the mic could pick you up.
It's like, hey, calm down. Hey.
I wanted to make sure the mic could pick you up.
Give me this like when there's a fight breaking out at a bar, and the bartender's like, hey boys, chill. That's the look Ethan gave me.
I wanted to make sure the mic picked you up. Whatever.
I was gonna say, I think you could make a better game because you can code Snake in HTML really easily.
Yeah, but
so then you would have made Snake.
Yeah, but are you saying Snake is a better game than Five Nights at Freddy's?
Of course, Snake's a better game than. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Of course, Snake is a better. Snake is classic.
Okay, well, I mean, listen.
Have you seen the GIF of the guy beating Snake?
That
sounds like masturbating, but it's not.
beating Snake. No, yeah, it's like a famous GIF or whatever.
And it's when you fill up
when you fill up the screen, right?
Fill up the screen.
Yeah. Regardless,
better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, that's fine. But I couldn't make it. I don't code or anything, so I'm not gonna hate on Scott Cawthorn or whatever the guy's name is. Respect to you that you managed to make a huge franchise like that. That you're making.
We made a huge franchise too. We made Stub Masters.
You got a point there.
You need more hate in your heart, Ethan.
I'm not a hateful person.
You can't be a good YouTuber without being hateful, though.
Have I ever been like hateful on the channel.
The channel?
On the channel.
When
when
Moonlight won Best Picture over La La Land in the slip.
I was really salty.
You had some anger in your heart that day.
I did. I was actually really salty at that.
Damn.
One of our best videos ever.
It was a great video.
Great video.
It had a lot of views.
A lot of views. Thanks if you saw that video. But no, just seeing Jonathan and I react to that. And I've been wanting to do a video like that for a while.
You had been?
I had been wanting to do that.
We should do another one. What's
the
next big thing coming up?
The Emmys.
When?
The nominations come out this Thursday, I think. Tomorrow.
And then when are they?
Don't know, honestly. Give it a Google. But we could do something like that. But we're not big into television on Stub Masters. That's what we want to be.
We both watch a lot of TV, you and I.
Yeah.
You more than me, but we both watch probably as much TV as movies, or almost as much.
Right. So I think that's a great area to expand in that we could do. And it's a shame that we haven't before. We've tried.
Failed miserably?
Failed miserably. I remember Jonathan and I agreed to watch Legion together. That never happened. John, you and I, we wanted to watch Stranger Things together.
I bailed on you. I'm sorry, bro.
You'd never finished the second episode or something like that?
All right, listen, I didn't come here to be slandered, okay?
No. And then I remember working on a custom intro for the for the Stranger Things review by like trying to recreate the title sequence for Stranger Things.
Nah.
They didn't look great. Didn't look good.
Nah,
I can pull it up
just
later
like
for
us, doesn't look good.
Not good. But no, I'd love to expand into TV for Stub Masters. Yeah. If you could review one show that you haven't seen already, what would you want to review?
I want to review
that you haven't started, let's say.
I have seen this, but I should review Atlanta.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you earlier, that I would love to see you do a review for Atlanta. Because you've given that show some praises yourself.
That's a great show.
You being a big Donald Glover fan.
Donald Glover fan.
Yeah.
I sure am.
Yeah.
What show would I want to give a review?
Yeah.
You know what I would review?
What?
Comedy Bang Bang.
Really?
Because that's a show that I think needs more eyes on it. I mean, it's done now, so it's not like...
Is it over?
Save it. It's either over or it's like slated to be over.
Yeah, it's definitely ending if it's not over already. But you do Comedy Bang Bang.
I love that. I mean, it's not the kind of show that really lends itself to a review.
No,
really,
because
it's not like story episodic. It's more of just like a wacky, cartoonish talk show.
Right, which is
like not even really a talk show.
Which is great because it's on the opposite spectrum as like...
it's like House of Cards or something.
I was going to say it's like on the opposite spectrum of like the Eric Andre show.
Eric Andre's show and Comedy Bang Bang are like very similar.
Maybe in terms of something else, but forget that.
Wait, it was because Eric Andre is black or something?
No, because I just thought the comedy was a little different. Like, let's say on Eric, I haven't watched Eric Andre to be perfectly honest, but let's say he like breaks through his desk on the Eric Andre show, and in Comedy Bang Bang they are on a spaceship. I don't know if that works.
You're kind of right.
Okay.
The Eric Andre show, I like it. I don't like it as much. Mm-hmm. They go for like very physical, gory, like reptile brain sexual type of stuff. Like,
okay.
Very like
lowbrow.
I don't want to say lowbrow because I don't think that gives it enough credit, but it's very. That show is the epitome of visceral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Comedy Bang Bang is like you actually I'm seeing what you mean more.
Okay.
They're both equally absurdist, I think.
Two sides of the same coin, I would say.
Exactly. Because they're both completely absurdist. They're both just completely have no basis in reality at all whatsoever. Right. Eric Andre's show is very visceral and filled with like gags and just like shock humor type of thing.
Right.
And Comedy Bang Bang is filled more with like just irony, like layers of irony or like weird, witty type of stuff.
Right.
I like them both a lot, but I definitely like Comedy Bang Bang more, I think.
Mm-hmm. So regardless,
you never watched Eric Andre show?
I haven't. I've watched a few bits, but you would review Comedy Bang Bang if you had to review a TV show.
Yeah.
That seems like a really, like you were saying, that's a pretty interesting challenge, I would say, to review a talk show. But I guess in Comedy Bang Bang, there is some narrative stuff.
They do like maybe a weird story each episode, kind of.
It's a very small narrative that's resolved within like the episode. But yeah, there's an episode. I mean, there's a narrative.
That show might as well be a cartoon, really.
Yeah,
just with the stuff they do.
The last episode I watched was I forget who was on it, but it was they were doing a parody of Cosmos with
I don't think I've seen that one
with Noah DeSoyle Holyfield instead of Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it transitioned from an episode of Cosmos into Alien.
That's great.
Where they have the chest burster.
That I love, man. Anyone that hasn't seen Comedy Bang Bang should definitely check it out. It's not for everyone.
No, I was just gonna say it's very weird.
It's completely absurdist. But
I showed my parents one episode.
Which episode?
The very first episode.
I think Comedy Bang Bang picks up a little bit. Like,
probably
it's not quite as good the first few episodes.
I'm just surprised that they can get the guests that they can.
It's weird. They pull huge guests for such a weird show.
No, like
it's all on Netflix, by the way.
It is, yeah. But like I forget who gets on it. What big names?
Zach Galifianakis, John Hamm.
Yeah, like big stars. Just surprising that they would be on
Schoolboy. ASAP Rocky's been on that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Like not to ding on Scott Aukerman or Reggie Watts, but not the biggest names, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's like and that show just by its nature can never be like mainstream,
right?
And it still pulls these huge guests, so
right? It's just one of the charms, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
To see just big, huge celebrities talking with,
and that's
absurdist situations.
That's another similar thing between the Eric Andre show and Comedy Bang Bang, but also kind of a difference because the Eric Andre show pulls huge stars too. But one of the cornerstone of that show is like they think it's going to be normal, supposedly,
right?
And then how do they react to what happens,
right? Oh, I remember seeing like a few GIFs or so about like I think like Elijah Wood like was on it one time or someone like that, and just like they were stunned.
Yeah, that's
in like
supposed to be the idea of the show.
Yeah,
like just throw the most shit at them you can.
Yeah,
and apparently T.I. just like walked out.
Really?
Like T.I. That happens a lot apparently. People just like aren't having it.
That's great.
Yeah,
I mean that's a really great way to probably like to see who the celebrity really is. I mean, if Eric Andre like tried to pull some like maybe physical humor with like a guest and they weren't having it, instead of like playing along and like maybe getting a little aggressive,
it all depends.
You could actually see like where that comes from.
And that show does all those skits where they like man on the street type of skits,
right?
Where like Eric Andre himself will just dress up as
that like
some macabre version of Ronald McDonald, for example, and go into a McDonald's and like harass people.
That's another thing that Eric Andre does is that they actually enter reality.
Yeah, and so it's like that whole show is really an exercise in just how far can you go,
right?
And how people react when you go that far,
right? As opposed to Comedy Bang Bang.
Comedy Bang Bang has its guests play along most of the time, I think.
No, yeah, they definitely play along, and they never exit their dimension.
Yeah,
because all the man on the street bits are still in that dimension.
Yeah,
where it's still really weird. Like
there's never any breaking of character.
Right, like at in that same episode I was talking about, Scott goes to talk about recent college graduates, and he just says like the whole bit was like, can these college graduates answer some basic questions? And it's like, who was the 30th president? And the kid answers like, a meatball sandwich. And then like it just increasingly weird answers from that until Scott discovers he's in an alternate dimension where all the answers were true, where a meatball sandwich was the president.
That's just Comedy Bang.
Exactly. It never leaves its own reality, and that's I think what separates it from the Eric Andre show.
Yeah,
that's
one of the big differences too. I think Scott Aukerman and Eric Andre would have a good interview.
Could you imagine the crossover possibility there?
Right?
Where would you want to see?
I really think they're both geniuses. I'm huge fans of both of them.
No, yeah, of the four of them: Hannibal Buress, Eric Andre, Scott Aukerman, Reggie Watts.
Reggie Watts, no longer. I mean, he's alive, but I was gonna say no longer with us.
Right? Would you
no longer on Comedy Bang Bang?
If you had to have the crossover,
James Corden stole him.
That's right. Yeah,
I like James Corden.
I mean, he's right.
I mean, his show sucks anyway, but that's not the reason I hate him. I hate him because he stole Reggie Watts.
Right.
Like I'm publicly starting beef with James Corden.
Oh, do you want to tweet this? Do you want to tweet this video at James Corden? At James Corden, please give Reggie Watts back to.
I don't care what
to Scott Aukerman.
I don't care what type of pay cut you're offering him. I'll do it for less.
Yeah.
Let Reggie fire him.
Right.
But put that man out of a job so he can go for Comedy Bang Bang.
Of the band leaders that Comedy Bang Bang has gone through, so that's Reggie Watts,
Kid Cudi,
and Weird Al Yankovic. Would you say Reggie Watts is the definitive band leader?
Definitely.
Okay.
Reggie Watts is the band leader.
I haven't gotten to Kid Cudi yet.
Really?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Kid Cudi definitely does a good job, but I mean, Reggie Watts is just Reggie Watts.
Reggie Watts was
Reggie
perfect.
Watts is like. Have you seen his other stuff?
I think I've seen a bit of his other stuff. Yeah.
He just has a YouTube channel where he just goes crazy. Like he's. I feel like Reggie Watts was. I mean, I don't know anything. Well, there was a podcast,
right?
Which I never
What, the
to.
comedy
Bang Bang podcast,
right?
I feel like Reggie Watts really did like care about that show and have an instrumental role in bringing it up.
Maybe it was his brainchild or something.
I don't know if it was his brainchild. It's Scott Aukerman's brainchild,
okay.
I think, from the podcast. But I think it's definitely something that really fit him like a glove.
What was first, the show?
No, podcast was
okay.
first by a while.
Okay,
podcast is like in its hundreds of episodes.
Okay. But no, that's again, guys. Seriously, if you haven't checked out Comedy Bang Bang, a little show on IFC.
Like Reggie Watts is great, Kid Cudi's great, and Weird Al.
Weird Al, yeah, we're huge Weird Al fans.
I mean, I've seen him perform.
Yeah, that's right.
He's great.
I think you offered to like take me with you to like a show of his, and I never went, and I really regret that.
Yeah, man, Weird Al's a legend.
Certainly. But no, guys, check out Comedy Bang Bang. Such a great show. To answer my original question of if I had to review a show that I have not seen yet at all, I think I would do the entirety of the CW verse.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I'm such a huge fan of superheroes and superhero media, comic books and the usual.
Yeah.
I have always been into, of course, the movies, into the comic books. I've never dealt with the live action stuff that they've tried to do on TV. And I think a lot of that was started by the CW stuff with like Smallville and things like that. And like they had like a failed Birds of Prey show.
Okay.
And I think the concept of superheroes on TV was pretty much revived by the CW verse with things like with like Arrow and the Flash.
You're probably right. Because I don't think we'd have like Daredevil and all this great superhero stuff we have now on TV on Netflix.
Right.
If it wasn't for the CW.
Right. So I would love to take a stab at the CW verse. I've looked into. I mean, the whole thing that threw me off was I don't really care for alternate realities in fiction and things like that. Something about it throws me off where every time I see a clip from that show and Barry is talking about like, oh no, we have to go to Earth 2 and deal with the situation on Earth 2 or something like that. It kind of throws me off. I don't know why. It's maybe just So
you never watched anything in the CW verse, though?
No. I would probably, of course, start with Arrow because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
I think I might like Arrow because it's a little more grounded than, let's say, The Flash.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same universe and all that. And I'm talking out my ass, so I don't know where it is at this point. But there's always a lot of coverage for those shows. There's always a lot of news about people filming the sets of The Flash because I guess it's that big of a show. So I would, I guess, do that. But I'm a little scared of liking Grant Gustin's Flash.
Why?
A little more than Ezra Miller.
Why is that?
Because I am the biggest DCEU stan that I know.
Why?
Because I love the DCEU.
You love the DC
EU.
First of all, why do they call it the DCEU?
The extended universe.
But how is it? But
it's extended.
So why don't you say the Marvel extended universe? Why isn't it the MEU?
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
MCU.
DC Extended Universe. What's the difference?
Difference is extensions of universes.
You're stumped. You don't know the answer. I'm right.
All right, you got me.
People just don't want to say DCCU.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
Totally matters, but we'll still move on.
I'm the biggest stan of the DCEU.
Why? Tell me why.
That I know, because Man of Steel, great, fantastic movie.
No, but okay.
We're not doing this right now.
Why not? It's a podcast.
It's 1:11 in the morning. I'm not doing this right now.
We're recording a podcast, boy.
I'm not doing this right now.
Why is Man of Steel a great movie?
Man of Steel is a great movie because Zack Snyder's a great director.
That's stupid reasoning.
What the hell?
I mean, Zack, it's a great movie because someone involved with it is great.
Because the movie's great because it has a great direction.
Okay, like elaborate.
It's directed really well. I love the cinematography. That I don't know if Larry Fong worked on that because he did for Batman vs Superman.
Okay.
The cinematography is great. Henry Cavill cast it perfectly for Superman. I love the relationship that was captured between him and Lois. And just the expansion on that into Batman versus Superman makes it one of the greatest couples in superhero history.
Okay.
And also Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition, for as much as we hail on it and we love it so much, it's because it deserves it. The Ultimate Edition is a fantastic movie. I've seen it 4 times.
You've seen the Ultimate Edition 4 times?
Yeah, and I'll fucking see it again, dude.
Damn.
I'm fucking passionate about this, honestly.
Damn.
Suicide Squad sucks, though. I don't care.
I gave Suicide Squad a 4 out of 5 when we first
Did you
reviewed it.
really?
I give it a 4.
Why?
I don't know, man. I was just hyped on it.
It was we reviewed it
We reviewed it at 2 a.m.
We did review it at 2 a.m. because we had to go around town looking for hairspray.
We had an adventure.
No, yeah, we had fun that night for reasons. But no, Suicide Squad was a misstep, and you know, I'm guessing they could salvage this by branching these characters in a new direction, basically. And there are plans for a sequel, which I'm not terribly excited about. There was word of the director of Run All Night.
Liv and Maddie.
Run All Night and The Shallows taking over the sequel, which I wasn't a huge fan of the Shallows. So maybe that'll turn out. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would think they could salvage this if they don't do Suicide Squad 2 by just pushing these characters into a new venture, into a new movie. So an easy route would say, and the one that's already happening, is Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, into Gotham City Sirens and pushing her into that field and trying to push other characters into that movie as well. You can push Captain Boomerang into the Flash movie because he's a Flash villain. So you can I'm trying to like save the rats from the sinking ship here.
Yeah.
Even though there were parts of Suicide Squad that I liked.
And there were parts that I liked too.
And
I mean, even though I definitely wouldn't give it a 4 if I could review it again.
Right.
It was still a movie I liked a lot about it.
And even the extended cut, I didn't really change any opinion on that at all.
I mean, they definitely added some stuff that made it, that kind of softened the flaws a little bit. That made it a little more fleshed out in places, but definitely nothing like the Ultimate Edition of BVS.
I really don't think the extended cut changed all that much for me. Mostly because it wanted to expand on characterization and just explanation of characters.
Which is good.
Which is fine, but I already like these characters, and I am already on board with...
Okay, but
Deadshot.
It's its own movie, though. It needs to make you on board with it.
No, yeah, I was on...
There were a lot of, like... Even if you already liked the characters, there were a lot of weird motivations and stuff in the movie that got cleared up. Maybe not even cleared up, but just kind of expanded upon and made more complete with some of the stuff in the expanded edition of Suicide Squad.
Well, I thought I understood everything just fine from the base cut of Suicide Squad, and I didn't think I was cleared up with anything with the extended cut.
All right.
But new scenes were nice. Like I said, new scenes of the characters I already like. That's fine. Still didn't change my opinion though. Wonder Woman, fantastic. What a wonderful movie.
I loved Wonder Woman.
No, yeah, just filled with great action, great story. Gal
Gadot killed it.
Yeah, as Diana Prince. Chris Pine, surprisingly awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, not surprisingly, he's great. I love Chris Pine. Just expanding the DCEU. Mm-hmm. Not as much as I'd liked, actually.
I think it's good that they rested up on the world building a little. I get what you're saying, but I think they definitely went too far with that in movies like BVS and Suicide Squad.
I think, yeah, you're right. I think, well, let me speak here. Suicide Squad did it too much, maybe with the after credit scene. Mm-hmm. That's obviously a big Marvel thing or a big just other franchise thing. It's not the big DC thing, but to rather have all the Easter eggs and things in the movie, obviously, like we just saw Spider-Man: Homecoming. And there were so many Easter eggs and things like that. I'll leave a link down below for that video. Please watch it. There were so many things in the movie, not after the credits, in the movie that expanded the universe, and I was very happy with that. But unlike that, with Wonder Woman, there wasn't a lot of expansion in the universe.
The difference with that is a movie like Spider-Man already had its universe to sit in, and Spider-Man fit very comfortably and very snugly and made a lot of sense in that universe without being forced or anything.
I mean, the way I would have done it simply was in the spoilers for Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for Wonder Woman. In the very beginning, she gets the postcard or the picture from Bruce Wayne. And that picture reignites the past for her memories or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's how we get the story going forward. All I would have loved, and at the very end of Wonder Woman, we see her again in present day with the photo again. Yeah. All I would have loved is because Bruce Wayne gave her the photo to begin with. All I would have loved to see is in the beginning when he gets off, or when they get off the truck and they get the photo. I would have loved to see Bruce Wayne there. Just Ben Affleck talking to her.
That would have been cool.
Literally, just would have had... it's the same thing with Suicide Squad, with him talking to Amanda Waller about putting together a team. Yeah. And just needing files on them. All it would have been was Bruce Wayne talking to her like, I'm putting together a team. Well, they did that in BVS. Mm-hmm. And it could have just been Bruce Wayne updating her that he got the files on Aquaman and the Flash. Yeah. So that's all it could have been, and that would have been great. I would have liked that.
I was really happy with Wonder Woman as it was, I think.
I am as well, but that's just one gripe I had. I love the movie. It's pretty flawless.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
So now it's just up to Justice League up in November.
That's really going to be it, I think. If Justice League eats shit, I think it's kind of over for the DCU.
Nope, Aquaman. Aquaman is...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad in terms of, it's going to be stuck from now on, but I don't think people are going to get on board, man, if Justice League sucks.
No, Aquaman's going to pull it around if it tanks.
What if Aquaman tanks?
Then I don't think we have a movie, or release date for a movie.
After Aquaman? When does Aquaman come
out? December, I think. They just changed it to December of next year.
Okay.
And I don't think we have a release date for anything else after that, which is weird because there are a million movies that have been planned, like Gotham City Sirens, Nightwing, Batgirl, The Flash, Green Lantern Corps, Logo.
That's crazy.
Lobo, Black Adam, Shazam, Cyborg.
What movie would you want to see from the DC universe?
In general?
Like, if you could just have a movie you made that you want to see.
That's pretty tough. I'm a huge Batman fan, but Batman oversaturates the DC universe a lot of the time. Lately in animation. Right. In a lot of the DC animated movies, Batman is just everywhere when he doesn't need to be, especially in Justice League Dark, a whole other team of supernatural heroes, and Batman's in it. Just taking some spotlight away, and I think that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna have to go away from Batman here. I'm gonna say throw Hawk Girl into it.
Why is that your pick?
I'm gonna throw her in there because I loved her in Justice League Unlimited. Thought she was great. Ooh, definitely the Atom as well. He's really cool. I forget the guy's name, but he was also in Justice League Unlimited. Do you know the guy that does not have a face? And he's basically a detective, kind of like Rorschach from Watchmen.
No.
Well, I'm gonna find his name, and I'm definitely gonna figure that out.
Is that who you want?
He's so cool. There were a lot of people wanted him for like an HBO show because there were rumors that DC was gonna look into HBO.
Okay.
The Question.
That's his name.
Yeah, The Question. Such a cool character. I love him. I would want him in the DCEU somehow. But regardless, Justice League is going to be fantastic. It's going to be the Best Picture winner. It's gonna.
Wow.
It's gonna.
I mean, I'd be happy if that happened too, but darn.
Yeah. But that's where I want. That's where I want the DCEU going. It's a Best Picture territory, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think that will never happen.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Literally never could ever even happen. It could never even, not even close.
Nah, I mean,
Has any DCU movie won an Oscar?
Suicide Squad.
Won like makeup or some shit.
Makeup and hairstyling, boy, proving you
they'll
wrong.
They'll never win an Oscar that matters. They'll never win an Oscar you can't buy.
Okay, John.
You can buy the makeup Oscar.
Whatever you say.
Am I wrong? Rock on.
Rock on, dude.
All right, Ethan. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Just that I hope, we get updates from another situation.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll talk about that on the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, joining me.
Yeah.
As my guest and co.
I'm your guest.
Yeah, you're my guest.
I thought you were my guest.
What?
All right.
Thanks for
Stubcast. I'm John.
I'm Ethan.
Have a great day.